This is Ariane Reed, and this is my 9 months on T. So this month there hasn't been a whole lot of changes, and I'll go over the reason why in just a minute here, but the main change I had this month is my hair changes. I had a lot of body hair coming in this month. I had more hair on my thighs, like down towards the insides, and also around the backs of my thighs as well. I have more hair on my butt cheeks, so that's new. I want to say it's like towards the center and along the bottoms of the butt cheeks. Okay, that's enough butt cheek talk for me. I also have more hair on my stomach. My happy trail is really filling in. It's getting a little bit higher, so like, you know, it used to go up to like about here. Now it's kind of like working its way up through here. So I'm getting a little bit longer peach fuzz hairs through here. I don't see a whole lot happening down below. There's still the little bit that I've had for a few months now. It's not really changing a whole lot down there. I do have more hair on my chest, just a little bit. I have more around the nipples, and then I have a little bit coming in towards the center of my chest, just sort of growing up here and there, but mainly like around the nipples for the most part at the moment. And it's just a few hairs here, a few hairs there. Nothing very big, thick, or super noticeable. I don't think you could really see it in photos even if I wanted to take a photo of my chest right now, which because my top surgery has been pushed back indefinitely, I'm not going to be taking any chest pictures for a while. I do have more hair on my arms. I do have it coming, it's spreading towards the center of my arms, basically. Like it's coming in from this side and it's coming in from this side and it's trying to meet. I don't know if it ever will, but I do have a ton of hair through here and a ton all through here, down through here now. I have more on my hand coming up on the sides and coming down the center of my hand, coming down there. And that's it for hair changes. Nothing on my face yet. And I think my hairline might be changing just a touch. Like I feel like there's a little bit less hair up around places where I may have had it beforehand. So I don't know, not a whole lot of change. And the reason for the lack of change this month is because because of COVID-19, my doctor shut down their offices. I couldn't like come in and get my injection from the nurse. For some reason, they don't let me anyway, I don't know why, just take meds home and just inject myself. These 9 months I've been coming in every other week, coming into the office and getting injected by the nurse. And because of the office being shut down for COVID, and basically only letting certain people in for serious reasons, the doctor's office gave me the option to do gel or patch. So I went with gel, and I hated it for a lot of reasons, mainly because I have a really busy lifestyle. I exercise in the shower every day, and I sweat a lot, especially now that I've been on testosterone for a while. And now that it's getting warm, it's almost May, so it's getting pretty warm these days, and I just feel like I'm constantly sweating the gel back out, and if I'm not, then I'm showering it back off, and I always feel very self-conscious about, you know, how long has it been since I put on my gel? Is it okay to, you know, do something that will cause me to get sweaty or to shower or anything like that? Or am I gonna wash my testosterone right back off? And I have a lot of acne back there, and so I was also worried that like all those clogged pores aren't going to absorb as much as like pores that are not clogged. So every single day I was just worrying about, am I getting enough testosterone, and how should I plan my day, when should I put it on, etc. And you're supposed to put it on at the same time every day, but my life schedule just is not the same every day, so that wasn't really an option. So I was just putting it on when I could, and it was really weird. Also because you have a lot of ups and downs on it. I hear some people go on things like that to have like to not have to endure the ups and downs of the shot cycle, but unfortunately you go through those up and downs like every single day. So every day it's just like up and down, depending on when you put on the testosterone. So because once you put it on, within a couple hours, you start to really feel that like testosterone high, and then you feel that for about like, I don't know, like maybe 8 hours or something, and then it starts to kind of, you start to feel a little bit more of like a testosterone low after that. So it's very different, and I felt like I wasn't getting enough testosterone, and I felt like I was spending a lot of hours of the day, um, feeling like I wasn't getting enough. Like I just felt fatigued, and all that low testosterone stuff. I could feel that every day for a lot more of the time than I felt the testosterone in me. So it was kind of worrying me that that was potentially a sign that I wasn't getting enough testosterone overall to continue my transition. And sure enough, within a couple of weeks, I started to notice in the mirror, it seemed like my face was starting to get a little bit more feminine looking. I could definitely see more fat being deposited right here and here on my hips. It was giving me much more of an hourglass again. So now that's starting to go away again now that I've been on the shot for about a week now. But I was also feeling nauseous. I was having menstrual cramps every day, nausea every day. I'm someone who's prone to dysmenorrhea, which means that whenever you start your period, you get super nauseous. Sometimes I would throw up and would be in extreme pain, things like that. So unfortunately, every single day I was getting that, particularly when my testosterone was feeling at that low point. And especially if I ate any sugar or anything that inflames the cramps, then I would really feel it. And I had to just eat light. I couldn't eat anything really heavy, like dairy products, for instance. I couldn't, do things like that. Which I'm trying to avoid those things anyway, but still, it was very uncomfortable, and I was freaking out every day with anxiety because I was worried that I was not transitioning and might even be like detransitioning without, of course, wanting to at all. So, and with top surgery coming up at some point in my future, I was worried about the breast getting bigger and all that kind of stuff, and it was just like freaking me out. So I emailed my doctor and was able to just list to her like all my symptoms and said, I'm dealing with all these things. I would have notified you sooner, but in the past when I've notified her about things, not always, but she has told me, just give it more time. Let's see what happens. And so I went ahead and gave it more time proactively and gave it another week. And after 2 weeks of nausea, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need more testosterone. We need to change something. And also when I put it on my skin, it kind of burns, especially near acne. Like it really stings because unfortunately it does have alcohol. So you're literally like basically like rubbing alcohol all over yourself. It's really nasty. It's really not fun. And if you have sensitive skin, you're gonna feel it. So it just was not my thing. So I messaged her, and thankfully she was willing to change my dosage, either increase the amount of gel or switch me to injection, which I was really surprised because she has never let me just give myself injections. But thankfully she was reluctantly willing to do it, so she sent me some videos and stuff on how to do it, and a diagram, all that kind of stuff. And I went to the pharmacy, got my needles, got my testosterone, thank God. Got home. Unfortunately, the pharmacy was out of one of the kinds of needles, so the needle I'm using, it might be a little bit bigger than what you're supposed to be using, but I'll stick anything to myself if it gets that testosterone in there. So thankfully, about a week now, almost a week, I've now been on testosterone again, the injectable testosterone, and I am feeling much better. I'm not feeling those daily ups and downs. In fact, I don't really feel much of like one way or the other anymore. I'm back to that really subtle feeling of being on testosterone versus that like daily ups and downs. So I'm really excited to be back on it. And one other thing I should mention on the gel is when I would put on the gel, especially if my schedule had worked out so that like almost like more than 24 hours had gone by since I had last applied it, and I was like in low testosterone for a good while, then when I would put it back on, or if I accidentally used too high of a dose, because the thing is it's pumps, like and nothing is stopping you from accidentally pumping a third pump when you're only supposed to do 2 a day. nothing about it tells you like, oh, you already took 2, you know. So like one day I accidentally overdosed. Well, I don't want to say overdose, but I accidentally did 3 pumps instead of 2, and my voice was like super deep. Within I don't know, like 2 to 5 hours, it like reached like the super deep point. And that was kind of cool to know that like the more testosterone you have in your system, the deeper your voice is. And then as soon as like the next day, for instance, you know, when I was taking my proper dose, I didn't have such a deep voice that day. So it was kind of interesting because I've noticed throughout my 9 months that my voice seems like it kind of goes up and down a little bit, like it fluctuates. So now this lets me know it must be because of the shot. Maybe when you get your shot and your testosterone is peaking, that's why your voice is deeper. And then when you're at that, you know, low tail end, you're ready for your next shot and your voice seems a little higher, I think that might be why. So that was interesting to know. I don't know if my voice actually changed this month or not. It might be just a touch deeper, but I don't know. Like, I felt like, if anything, for a while there, I felt like I wasn't transitioning, and it was super, how do I say it? Like, it was very high anxiety time for me. It was very much not fun. And now that I am back on the injection, like, I'm starting to get a little bit of a breakout again. I'm getting like these really big pimples that are like deep under the skin type. Like, they're big and they're deep and not something that you can like just pop, or that looks like it's gonna go away anytime soon. Like, it's those, you know, awful kind, the worst kind, pretty much. I've got some of those coming back in again. They had pretty much gone away. My acne had pretty much disappeared while I was on the gel, which was another sign that I was probably absorbing far too little testosterone into my system. So now I'm starting to get some acne coming back, and I'm starting to feel, my voice is feeling breaky again, as though I'm changing again or something. Like, I haven't felt this breaky in a while. So I think having like low testosterone maybe like made my body a little bit more sensitive to it. So now it's like jump starting into getting some changes going for me or something. I'm not really sure. But my voice has been kind of weak and breaky this week. Also, the last thing I want to mention is while I was on the gel, I also had night sweats. So if you're experiencing night sweats, cramps, fatigue, anxiety, less acne than usual, nausea, any of those kinds of things, you might want to talk to your endocrinologist about changing your testosterone dosage, because that might be a sign of low testosterone, which I learned this month. So I learned something new, even if I didn't get to progress quite as much as I would have liked to. And unfortunately, when my doctor let me go on to self-injections, she phrased it like, you can do self-injections until our office opens back up, and then you can come back in and have a nurse do it again. She phrased it something like that, which just makes me go like, like, especially now that I am giving myself the injection, and it actually hurts less giving it to myself than having someone else stick it in. Just like, I can't tickle myself as much as other people can tickle me, you know? So I really like being able to give myself the injection, and I also like just not having to drive out to the doctor's office. It's 60 miles away from my house. That's a 90-minute drive. And sure, when I'm already in the city for work or something, you know, I'll head over there during the day. But unfortunately, they're not open during my lunch break, so I have to like leave at like 11 to go over there, and my lunch is at 12. So it really doesn't work out for me to have to keep leaving work during regular work hours every other week to keep going over there. So I'm going to try to find some way to advocate that my doctor let me just give myself my injections like every other trans guy in the world. So, well, so keep your fingers crossed for me. That's something I'll have to deal with in a few months once COVID is totally blown over and my prescription starts to run low. But anyway, I hope to see some more changes in the upcoming months. I'm so excited that 1 year is literally like just around the corner. Super excited about that. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are all getting access to your testosterone and your correct dosage during this time and are staying healthy and safe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Arian. This is my first week on T.
Hi everyone, this is Arian Reed, and this is my 9 months on T.
This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice.
This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice.